What's up, guys? I just want to say thank you for 3 years on YouTube. It's been great. 3 years on YouTube. That's a long time. I know I should have made this video a couple months ago, back in November, but technically I created this account on January 24th, 2017. I used some other alt account that, surprisingly, I still use every once in a while just to do stuff on. That was made in 14, but I made my channel in 2017 on January 24th, I believe. So, today is like January 30th, I think. Maybe 29th, I think it's 30th. So I figured today it's time where I just want to say it's just so I've been on YouTube for so long, and thanks for all the support, guys, even with the fans that left the channel, like Avery Logan and Meme, which is not even called Meme anymore. That's just how I remember the kid. But they never unsubscribed. They just kind of just let the channel to abandon. And thank you for my two main fans, Dave Morgan and Matthew's Malicious fans, Miscellaneous fans, or something like that. No thanks to Joey. Boo. Still don't like him. Tried being friends with him again. But thank you for 3 years. So I figured I'd make a long overdue video on how to care for the American toad. So let's do this. Tank size for one, you need around 10 gallons. I have him in a 10-gallon tank. He's obviously a juvenile. He's a juvenile toad right now. He hasn't really hit puberty much yet. Or she. I'm not sure yet. I think it's a she. I'm not sure. It's kind of orangish, actually, surprisingly. Not too surprisingly. Like, some of them are orangish. Some of them are bright red, which is the rare variant. This is, of course, wild caught. He used to have a little friend that always stayed in the soil. That was a different species of toad, and he never came out or anything. He kind of sucked, to be honest. But I was still sad when he died. He just wasn't healthy. His whole batch wasn't healthy. He was the only one that survived, but... And then I adopted this guy, and they lived together fine. They just, as all toads do, as long as they can't fit in each other's mouth, they just don't care about each other. They just mind each other's own business. This, I don't know how... I just think that looks cool. I'll probably take that out because it's taking up some space, and crickets can hide back in here. But he enjoys this place. He usually stays in that corner right there. They like to burrow. You can have a little hut in there for them to hide in. You don't have to. He likes to. He can hide under that rock. Kind of act like a hut. He can hide under the rock because there's like a crack right there. So kind of like a hut, I guess. Yeah. Add 10 gallons for one, and I'd say add 5 gallons for each toad. So 15 gallons for 2 toads, 20 gallons for 3, 25 for 4, and so on and so forth. That's just what I would recommend. They don't really need a UVB, UVA light. They're not that kind of animal that needs that. Just have a day-night cycle. I just got a normal light. Make sure it can live in room temperature. Just make sure it doesn't get too cold or too hot. Naturally they do hibernate, but they obviously do not need to hibernate because they don't need to. They just don't. What else is there? You can't really get, most of the time you can't really get these, captive bred, just wild caught. A good way that they adapt easier, is to get them when they're babies, when they're young. They don't have to be babies, but they'll adapt better. They don't always, but sometimes the adults even adapt. My first toad I kept, was wild caught and was adult, and he adapted just fine. So I'm not saying you have to, but if you're a beginner, I'd recommend getting a little one at first. Always have a water dish. There's the water I put that in. I just held him 30 minutes ago or so, and I put him in there, and he seems to be enjoying it. Also have some rocks throughout the thing. Unfortunately, Tiny, Tomato, and Chirp have died. Tomato got away, or something. Yeah, ended up running away, getting out, but he's probably still alive somewhere. Chirp sadly died, and so did Tiny. Tomato, once got out before that, but the next morning I went out hunting for Tomato, and I caught it. And I actually was lucky enough to find it in the woods. I could tell because there was like it has a marking on it. But this toad, it's not really named. I don't know what I should name it. Had him for a while. I should name it. Maybe I'll name him Seymour or something. I don't know. But yeah, just thanks for 3 years, guys. That's a really long time on YouTube. And I will be getting new amphibians soon, and hopefully for my birthday, which is March 14th, by the way, in case you were wondering. I might get a African bullfrog, which is a pixie frog that gets quite huge, and stuff like that. Yeah, but thanks for 3 years, guys. It's been great. See ya, bros.